Do you want your family to spend the next 2 years sitting in a courtroom, or would you rather they be at home, remembering you with love and peace of mind? That is the question at the heart of today's video. Because let me tell you something, if you don't have a plan, the state has one for you, and I guarantee you aren't going to like it. Most of you watching right now have worked 40, 50 years to build a life. You've saved, you've sacrificed, and you've done it all so your children and your spouse could be secure. But there is a silent predator out there called probate that is waiting to take a giant bite out of everything you've worked for. So, what is probate? People hear the word and they think it's just some standard legal paperwork. No. Probate is the court-supervised process of distributing your assets after you die. It sounds orderly, doesn't it? It isn't. It is public, it is expensive, and it is incredibly slow. When your estate goes into probate, your private life becomes a public record. Anyone can go down to the courthouse and see exactly what you owned, who you owed money to, and who is getting what. Is that what you want for your family? Of course not. The fear I hear from so many of you is that your kids will fight, or that the money you worked so hard for will be wasted on lawyers and court fees. And you are right to be afraid. In many states, probate fees are set by statute, a percentage of the gross value of your estate. They don't care if you have a massive mortgage on that house, they charge you based on the full value. By the time the lawyers, the executors, and the courts are done, your family could be looking at losing 3% to 8% of their inheritance. That is money that should be going to your grandkids' college fund or your spouse's long-term care. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, Suze, I have a will. I'm fine. Listen to me, a will does not avoid probate. In fact, a will is your admission ticket to probate. A will is simply a letter to the judge telling them how you want things handled, but the judge still has to oversee the whole thing. If you want to keep the courts out of your business, you have to move beyond a simple will. So, how do we fix this? How do we protect your family? The most powerful tool in your toolkit is a revocable living trust. When you put your home and your accounts into a trust, you still own them, you still control them, but the trust owns the title. When you pass away, there is no probate because the trust doesn't die. Your successor trustee, the person you've chosen in trust, steps in immediately. No judges, no courtrooms, no public records. It happens in weeks, not years. But it's not just about a trust. I want you to look at your contract assets today. Check your retirement accounts, your IRAs, your 401(k)s, and your life insurance policies. These assets pass by beneficiary designation. If you have listed a beneficiary, that money goes directly to them, bypassing probate entirely. But here is the catch: if you haven't updated those beneficiaries in 10 years, or if your primary beneficiary has passed away, that money is headed straight for the probate court. Go check your paperwork today. Do not wait until tomorrow. Another simple takeaway is looking into transfer on death, TOD, or payable on death, POD, accounts for your standard checking and savings. Most banks offer this. It takes 5 minutes to sign a form, and it ensures that the day you pass, your family has access to the cash they need for your funeral and their own living expenses without waiting for a judge to sign off on it. Why does this matter? It matters because your legacy isn't just a dollar amount. Your legacy is the ease with which your family can move forward after you are gone. Probate creates stress, it creates delays, and it creates a vacuum where family arguments start. When you take these steps, when you set up a trust, when you verify your beneficiaries, when you simplify your estate, you are giving your family the greatest gift possible, the gift of clarity. You have to be a person who faces their future. Don't leave a mess behind because you are too afraid or too busy to sign a few documents. Secure your home, secure your accounts, and keep the government's hands out of your family's pockets. You worked for that money. Now, make sure it stays where it belongs. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.